Welcome back, coin lovers. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and exciting coins in United States history, the 1971 Lincoln cent penny. This small copper coin may look like pocket change to the untrained eye, but in the world of numismatics it holds secrets and surprises that can make collectors go wild. If you think pennies are worthless, think again. This coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, even up to $1 million under the right conditions, so stay with me as we uncover everything you need to know about the 1971 Lincoln cent, its market value, its hidden varieties, and what makes it so special in today's collector market. Background of the 1971 Lincoln cent. Let's start with some context. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to 1971, the U.S. Mint continued production of these pennies with a small mint mark under the year indicating where they were produced. The letter S stands for San Francisco. Mint in 1971. This mint produced both business strike and proof versions of the Lincoln cent, but what makes the 1971 penny so fascinating is not just where it was made, it's about how it was made and what errors slipped through the cracks. Key varieties and errors that matter. Now here's where things get exciting. Most 1971 pennies are worth only face value, maybe a few cents to $1 in uncirculated condition, but there are rare varieties and minting errors that can skyrocket the value into the stratosphere. The most famous is the 1971 double die obverse. This is a variety where the coin was struck with a die that had a slight misalignment, resulting in noticeable doubling on the lettering and numbers on the front of the coin. You can actually see doubling on in God we trust, the word librty, and the date 1971. If you have one of these in pristine proof condition with strong doubling, you might be sitting on a coin worth thousands of dollars. In fact, some proof versions have sold for over $5,000 to $10,000 depending on grade and clarity. Now imagine combining that double die variety with a high grade, say proof 69 deep cameo, or even a perfect proof 70. That's when values start climbing into the high five figures, and yes, even six figures in rare auction circumstances. How to identify the $1 million penny? So can a 1971 penny really be worth $1 million? The short answer is yes, but with a big if attached. If the coin is a rare double die, if it is in flawless condition, and if there is demand from elite collectors at auction. There was a case where a unique specimen of a Lincoln cent sold for over $1 million. It was not the 1971 but it shows that Lincoln cents can command $1 million price tags when the rarity and condition are perfect storms. If a unique double die 1971 proof coin surfaced with flawless features and full cameo contrast, graded proof 70 by PCGS or NGCN, if it was the only one of its kind, then yes, it could easily reach $1 million at auction, especially as the collector market continues to boom. Current market value breakdown. Let's break down the actual values you can expect today. A regular 1971 Lincoln cent in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent. Uncirculated versions might bring 5 to 15 cents. Proof versions with no major errors go for $1 to $5. Now here's where it jumps. 1971 proof double die obverse coins. Graded proof 65 can bring in $1,000 to $3,000. Proof 67 versions may sell for $7,000 or more at proof 69 deep cameo. Weary looking at values in the $15,000 to $20,000 range depending on market demand. And again, if a flawless proof 70 specimen were discovered with strong doubling and verified as unique, you could easily see prices push toward the $1 million mark, especially in a high-profile auction with wealthy collectors bidding. Tips for collectors. So how do you know if your 1971 penny is the jackpot? Here's what to do. First, look for the mint mark under the date. Next, examine the lettering for any signs of doubling. Use a strong magnifying glass or coin microscope. If you see doubling on Liberty and God we trust and the date, you might have something special. Then send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate it and assign a grade. This is essential if you ever plan to sell it at auction or to serious collectors. Finally, keep it stored in a protective holder. Avoid touching the surface. Even fingerprints can lower the grade and reduce the value. Conclusion: the 1971 Lincoln cent might just be the sleeper coin in your change jar. It has history, mystery, and the potential for serious money if you strike gold with the right variety. While not every 1971 penny is a jackpot, knowing what to look for can turn an ordinary find into an extraordinary treasure. So check your coins, do your research, and you might just discover that $1 million penny hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit like, subscribe for more rare coin breakdowns, and drop a comment if you've ever Come across a 1971 penny, you never know who might help you unlock its true value. We're talking about one small coin that could be hiding in your pocket or your old change jar, the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln cent. That's right, just 1 penny, and believe it or not, some of these coins are selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, and in some rare cases experts say certain versions could be worth a fortune, even up to $1 million. So what makes this common looking coin so special? Why are collectors going crazy over it, and how can you tell if your penny is the rare one? Let's break it all down. Cut to a close-up of a 1973 penny. First things first, let's talk about the basics. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your penny has a small d under the date, it was made in Denver. If it has an S, that means San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all under the date, then that penny was struck in Philadelphia. Now, normally that wouldn't be anything special. Philadelphia pennies often don't have mint marks, but here's where it gets interesting. Cut to close-up of high-grade 1973 penny. In recent years, collectors have been discovering that some 1973 no-mint mark pennies have rare errors or unique qualities, and that's where the real money comes in. Some coins have strong doubling on the lettering, some have died breaks or cracked planchets, others have been struck off-center or on the wrong metal, and when these rare error types are in perfect or near-perfect condition, the value skyrockets. Cut to auction screen showing high price. In fact, just one rare high-grade 1973 no-mint mark penny sold for over $10,000 at auction, and experts believe a few uncirculated versions with extremely rare errors could eventually fetch 6 figures or even up to $1 million if the right buyer comes along. That's the power of rarity and condition in the coin world. Cut to chart showing value tiers. So what's your 1973 no-mint mark penny worth? Let's look at the market value today. If your penny is a standard circulated one with no errors and average, where it's usually worth 1 cent, maybe a few cents to a collector, but if it's in really great condition, especially uncirculated, it can be worth $5 to $10 or more. If it has a rare mint error or unique feature, then the value can jump to hundreds or thousands of dollars. And if it's a high-grade error coin professionally graded by a top service like PCGS or NGC, that's when you start talking serious money. There are collectors right now paying thousands for the best examples. Cut to close-up of coin grading scale. So how do you know if your penny is special? Start by looking at it under a magnifying glass. Check the lettering for any doubling. Look at the edges for cracks or uneven strikes. Check the weight. If you have a digital Scalia, normal 1973 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs a lot more or less, you might have a rare planchet error, and of course the condition matters too. No scratches, no discoloration, and a strong sharp strike means higher value. Cut to PCGS grading service website. If you think your coin might be rare, don't clean it, and don't try to fix it. Get it professionally graded, and authenticated services like PCGS or NGC can confirm if your coin is the real deal. They'll also give it a grade which directly affects how much it could sell for. Cut to footage of coin show or auction. Right now in 2025, the coin market is hot. Collectors are paying more than ever for rare and unique pennies. The 1973 no-mint mark penny has already surprised many by breaking price records, and experts believe we haven't even seen the most valuable examples yet. So check your change jars, your coin rolls, and your old collections. You might be sitting on a hidden gem. Cut to dramatic music and text on screen. That 1 cent coin could be your ticket to $1 million payday. Outro music fades, and so that's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more coin tips and updates. Drop a comment if you have a 1973 penny or any rare coins you'd like us to look into. 1973 D Lincoln 1 cent penny, and believe it or not, this simple copper coin could be worth a surprising amount of money in today's market. So what makes the 1973 D Lincoln penny special? Why are collectors searching for it? And most importantly, how much could it be worth in 2025? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1973 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver and carries the small d mint mark just below the date. On the obverse or front of the coin, it features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner that first appeared in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This design has stood the test of time, becoming one of the longest-running designs in American coin history now, while hundreds of millions of these pennies were minted in 1973, making it seem like they'd be common and not valuable. The truth is there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Condition, rarity, mint errors, and collector demand have all driven the Price of certain examples far beyond 1 cent. Let's start with condition. If you have a 1973 D penny that has never been in circulation, meaning it looks flawless with full luster, no scratches and sharp details, that coin is referred to as mint state, or MS. Collectors grade these coins on a 70-point scale, and the higher the grade the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1973 D penny graded MS 67 by a professional grading service can sell for upwards of $200 to $500, and in some rare cases, depending on appeal, strike, and color, it has even crossed over into the $1,000 territory. But we're not done yet. Now let's talk about errors. These are the real treasures. Errors occur during the minting process and can range from double dies to off-center strikes to missing letters or numbers. A genuine double die obverse or reverse, where the design is noticeably doubled, is one of the most sought-after types of errors, although no major known double die exists for the 1973 D penny. Yet minor doubling and misstrikes can still carry significant value. A dramatic off-center strike or a clipped planchet could make your penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The key here is rarity. The fewer coins that exist in a particular grade or with a unique error, the more collectors are willing to pay. In 2023, a 1973 D Lincoln Cent graded MS 67 red sold at auction for nearly $3,000. That's a serious jump from face value in top mint state condition with rare qualities. And high-demand coins like this have even been estimated to reach values in the tens of thousands over time. Now let's push the boundary a bit. What if your coin had an extremely rare misprint, something never seen before, or an error that slipped through unnoticed? Until recently, there have been cases where such coins have reached valuations in the millions. While there is no confirmed $1,973 D penny on the market yet, the possibility is always there, especially if a major new error is discovered or if a unique die variety is authenticated and demand skyrockets. It's also important to understand the role of copper in all of this. The 1973 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which means the copper content alone gives it a melt value above 1 cent. In a time when copper prices are increasing, this adds even more interest and potential long-term value to these coins. So how can you tell if your 1973 D penny is valuable? First, look at its condition. If it looks perfect, shiny, and uncirculated, you could have something special. Next, use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, strange shapes, missing details, or off-center designs. And finally, if you think your coin might be worth more than just a cent, get it graded by a reputable coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. It's a small investment that could reveal a huge reward. Coin collecting is part art, part history, part treasure hunt. And the 1973 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how an ordinary looking object can hold extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, this coin is worth checking for. Remember that market values change. Coins can suddenly rise in demand due to discoveries, auctions, or media attention. So even if your 1973 D penny isn't worth much today, keep it safe. You never know what it might be worth tomorrow. 1978 No mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin. You might be thinking, wait a minute, it's just a penny from the 70s. What could possibly make it worth more than face value, let alone worth thousands or even millions of dollars? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video you'll understand why this ordinary looking coin might be far more valuable than you ever imagined. Let's dive right in. First, let's start with the basics. The 1978 Lincoln cent was minted in large numbers. Over 6 billion of them were struck that year. But here's the interesting part: some of these coins have no mint mark at all. This means they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time did not place a mint mark on its coins. Now, typically a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is not considered rare. However, certain rare varieties and error coins from that year can fetch a very high price at auctions. Collectors look for specific types of errors that occurred during the minting process. These errors can make the coin unique and highly desirable. Some of these include double die obverse, which is when the image on the front of the coin appears to be doubled off center; strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned; die cracks, where the coin shows raised lines or ridges due to a crack in the die used to strike the coin; and clipped planchets, which is when a portion of the coin is literally missing due to an error in the cutting process. Now here's the exciting part: in recent years, several 1978 Lincoln cents with rare minting errors have sold for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their condition and rarity. In some cases, extremely rare specimens with perfect conditions combined with unique errors have been valued at over $10,000, and that's just the beginning. One particularly rare 1978 penny was discovered to have an extremely sharp double die with clear doubling on the date and Liberty, and it sold for a jaw-dropping amount at a private auction, although there is no official record of a 1978 Lincoln cent selling for $1 million, yet some coin experts believe it's only a matter of time before a perfect era coin in mint state condition crosses that mark, especially as interest in rare coins continues to grow. Now let's talk about grading. Coin grading is critical when it comes to determining value. A 1978 Lincoln cent in circulated condition might only be worth a few cents above face value, but the same coin in mint state condition graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Why? Because collectors pay a premium for coins that are well preserved with sharp details and nowhere. If you think you might have a valuable penny, here's what you should do. First, take a close look at the coin. Use a magnifying glass or loupe. Check for any unusual features like doubling die, cracks, off center strikes, or missing parts. Next, check the condition. Does it have scratches, heavy wear, or discoloration, or does it look crisp and sharp with full detail? Finally, if you believe you have something special, consider getting it graded. A certified coin is far more likely to sell for top dollar at auction or to a private buyer. So how much could your 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny really be worth? For standard circulated coins, the value is minimal, usually just 1 to 10 cents. For uncirculated coins with no special errors, the value might range from $1 to $5 depending on condition, but for rare era coins or coins in ultra-high mint state, the value could skyrocket. Some collectors and dealers are even offering up to $10,000 for extremely rare varieties in pristine condition, and yes, it's possible that in the future a truly unique and flawless example could be sold for over $1 million. So don't underestimate the power of a penny. The next time you check your coin jar or get change at the store, take a moment to look closely. You just might be holding a small copper treasure. And remember, coin values change over time based on market demand, rarity, and collector interest, so keeping up with current trends is key if you want to spot a valuable coin. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a future upload. 1979 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny. And yes, you heard that right. This seemingly ordinary coin might just be worth a fortune. We're going to uncover how a simple copper-colored coin from 1979 could potentially fetch thousands or even over $1 million, depending on its condition, errors, and rarity. Stick around until the end, because the details we're going to uncover might make you look at your spare change with brand new eyes. So let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features the side profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, making it the longest-running design in U.S. coin history. The reverse in 1979 featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now the coin we're focused on today is the 1979 penny with the D mint mark. That D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing U.S. coinage. In 1979, the Denver Mint struck over 4.1 billion of these coins. That's right, billions with a B. So you might be wondering, how can something so common be worth anything more than face value? Here's where it gets interesting. While most 1979 D Lincoln pennies are only worth 1 cent, a few rare varieties and era coins have fetched mind-blowing prices at auctions and from private collectors. The secret lies in the details, literally. We're talking about minting errors, die varieties, high-grade conditions, and rare anomalies that turn an everyday coin into a collector's dream. Point: one of the most notable features that can skyrocket the value of a 1979 D penny is a minting error known as a double die. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, creating a slightly doubled image on letters, numbers, or features of the coin. While these are rare, they are real, and collectors pay serious money to own one. A well-preserved double die coin with the D mint mark has been known to fetch anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the doubling and the condition of the coin. Now, let's talk about condition, or what collectors call the grade of the coin. Pennies that have never been circulated, known as uncirculated or mint state coins, are valued much higher than those that have been through years of wear and tear. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can be worth several $100s, even without an error. That's because quality coins from large mintages are harder to come by. Most coins from 1979 have nicks, scratches, or discoloration from decades of handling. But find a flawless one, and you've struck copper gold. And then we have the holy grail of coin errors: off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and broad strikes. These are coins that were misstruck during production, and though technically mistakes, they are extremely collectible. For example, a 1979 D penny struck off-center by more than 50% can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on eye appeal and how much of the design is still visible. Let's not forget about the famous copper and zinc debate. In 1979, pennies were still made primarily of 95% copper. But in 1982, the composition changed to zinc with a thin copper coating due to rising metal prices. Because of this, pre-1982 pennies, including those from 1979, are worth more than face value just for their metal content. As of today's copper prices, the melt value of a 1979 penny is around 2 to 3 cents. Not bad for a coin most people still ignore on the sidewalk. But here's where things go next level. There have been rumors, reports, and verified auction listings where rare variants of the 1979 D penny have sold for astronomical prices. We're talking about coins that have fetched amounts in the 5-figure range, even crossing into 6 figures under the right circumstances. In extremely rare cases, usually involving unique double dies or one-of-a-kind minting errors, there have been coins valued close to or over $1 million, especially if discovered in pristine mint state condition and authenticated by a top grading service. Now, is every 1979 D penny going to make you a millionaire? No. But is it possible that you could find one worth hundreds or thousands of dollars just sitting in a jar on your shelf or at the bottom of your purse? Absolutely. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's the thrill of discovery, the chase for a rare find, and the knowledge that what seems like pocket change today could be a treasure tomorrow. So what should you look for if you're checking your change tonight? Start by checking for the D mint mark under the date. Then look closely. Use a magnifying glass if you can. Check for any doubling on the date or the letters. Look at the overall condition of the coin. Does it look new and shiny with no scratches or discoloration? It might be a high-grade specimen. And if you think you've found something special, it's worth getting it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. To wrap it all up, the 1979 D Lincoln penny is a common coin with uncommon potential. Whether it's a valuable error, a rare die variety, or just an incredibly well-preserved example, there are hidden gems out there waiting to be found. Every coin tells a story, and some of them are worth far more than you'd ever expect. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on another episode uncovering the secrets of everyday coins. And remember, the next time you hear that familiar jingle of coins in your pocket, pay attention. You might just be holding history, or a small fortune. 1980 No Mint Mark Lincoln Penny. Yes, that small copper-colored coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Now let's take a look at what makes this coin special. First off, the 1980 Lincoln Penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and coins from this mint traditionally don't have a mint mark. That's why you won't see a small P or any other letter under the date on these coins. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though it's not considered a rare error coin, certain versions of the 1980 No Mint Mark penny can fetch impressive prices in today's market. Let's talk about why. The 1980 penny features the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This design has been used since 1909 and was created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on the penny from 1959 to 2008. The composition in 1980 was 95% copper and 5% zinc, which makes this coin heavier and more valuable in terms of metal content than the pennies made after 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a primarily zinc composition. Because of its copper content alone, a single 1980 penny is already worth more than 1 cent if you're just going by the price of copper. But that's not what gets collectors excited. It's the condition, rarity, and certain small details that can send the value skyrocketing. For example, a 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is usually worth between 1 and 5 cents. Not much, right? But in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks nearly brand new and has no signs of wear, the price can go up quickly. Coins graded MS-65, which means mint state 65, often sell for between $5 and $10. Still not huge money, but we're just getting started. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. Some 1980 pennies have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Why? Because they were in near-perfect condition or had unusual errors. These errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Basically, manufacturing mistakes that make the coin unique. Collectors love these one-of-a-kind pieces, and they're willing to pay serious money for them. In one famous example, a 1980 Lincoln penny graded at MS-67 red sold for over $2,000. And yes, there are even coins from this year that have been valued at over $10,000, depending on condition, color, and whether or not it has any striking errors. You might be wondering, could a 1980 penny ever be worth $1 million? The short answer is, not yet. But in the world of collectibles, especially rare coins, never say never. We've seen seemingly ordinary coins explode in value once a rare variety or significant error is discovered. So while number 1980 Lincoln penny has hit the $1 million mark today, who knows what could happen in the future? So how can you tell if your 1980 penny is valuable? Here's what to look for. First, examine the coin closely under good lighting. Does it have any unusual features, like doubling of the date or lettering? Is it off-center? Does it look different in color or shape? Is it shiny and free from scratches, dings, or wear? If so, you might be holding a rare find. Next, you should compare your coin to examples online or, even better, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can make a big difference in the value of your coin, especially when selling to serious collectors. If you're sorting through jars of old change, definitely keep an eye out for 1980 Lincoln cents, especially ones in pristine condition or with strange characteristics. Even if it's not worth millions today, a rare or high-grade penny can be a great addition to your collection, and could gain value over time. To wrap it up, the 1980 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin might not seem like much at first glance, but with the right condition, the right error, or the right collector, its value can soar. Whether you're in it for the love of collecting or the thrill of possibly finding a hidden gem worth thousands of dollars, it's always worth taking a second look at your change. So check your pockets, grab those old jars of coins, and start looking. You never know, that humble little penny could be the start of your $1 million story. 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin looks ordinary, but under the right circumstances it can be worth thousands, and yes, in some rare cases even reach values that approach $1 million. So what makes the 1984 Lincoln penny so special? Well, let's start with the basics. This penny was part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has been used on US 1-cent coins since 1909. The reverse of the coin in 1984 still featured the Lincoln Memorial before it was later replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield designs. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1984 penny that we're talking about today does not have a mint mark. That means it was minted in Philadelphia during that time. The Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on most coins, but the value of this coin doesn't come from its lack of a mint mark alone. It comes from a specific and rare variety known as the 1984 double die penny. The 1984 double die penny is one of the most well-known and valuable Lincoln cent varieties. This rare error occurred during the minting process when the coin die struck the coin twice but slightly misaligned. The result is a clear and noticeable doubling effect, most prominently seen in Lincoln's ear, his jawline, and parts of the lettering such as Liberty and In God We Trust. If you have one of these rare double die varieties and it is in excellent condition, you might be looking at serious money. Even coins in circulated condition with visible doubling can sell for anywhere between $150 to $300, but when the coin is in uncirculated mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, it can bring in thousands at auction. Some have sold for over $6,000. Now let's talk about the big question: can the 1984 penny be worth $1 million? The short answer is very rarely, but in theory yes, while no public auction has reached a full $1 million for this coin yet. The right combination of a perfect mint state, rare double die, strong collector interest, and bidding wars at auction could push the price into the high six figures or even seven. Let me put it this way: in the world of rare coin collecting, anything is possible. Coins like the 1943 bronze Lincoln penny and the 1909 SVDB in pristine condition have fetched prices well into the hundreds of thousands, and even more if the right buyer with deep pockets believes your coin is the best known example of the 1984 double die penny. They might be willing to pay an astronomical amount, but remember, not every 1984 penny is valuable. The majority are common and worth just 1 cent. The key is in the details. Look closely at the ear, look for that doubling. You may want to use a magnifying glass or even a jeweler's loupe. Better yet, have the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a company like PCGS or NGCA certified. Grade makes a huge difference when it comes time to sell. So what should you do if you find a 1984 penny in your pocket or change jar? Take a few minutes to examine it. You might be sitting on hidden treasure. Check for the doubling, pay attention to the condition, and if you think it looks like a match, do not clean the coin and do not delay in getting it appraised. In conclusion, the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper. It's a symbol of how sometimes everyday objects can hide extraordinary value. Whether it's worth 1 cent or $1 million depends on the eye of the collector and the rarity of the era. Keep checking your change, because numismatic history has proven time and time again that the next big discovery could be sitting in the palm of your hand. Subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin gems and valuable money finds, and let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare penny that changed your life. 1985 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny coin, and uncovering its current market value and what makes some of these coins worth thousands or even potentially millions of dollars to the right collector. So sit back, relax, and let's get started now. The 1985 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and over 5 billion of these coins were struck. That's right, more than 5 billion with a B. So you might be asking, how can a coin that common be worth more than 1 cent or even $100 or more? The answer lies in rare errors, high grades, and specific characteristics that serious coin collectors and investors are hunting for right now in the market. First, let's talk about the basics of the 1985 D penny. This coin features the classic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front, and on the reverse you'll see the Lincoln Memorial. This design has been in use since 1959 until it was changed in 2009. The D mint mark under the date tells us it was minted in Denver. Now, even though these coins are extremely common, not all 1985 D pennies are created equal. Some are worth just face value, but others, depending on their condition and rarity, can be worth much more. Let's look at condition, or what collectors call grade. If you have a 1985 D Lincoln penny that is in mint state condition, that means it has no wear and tear and still has its original shine. It could already be worth a few dollars. In fact, if you have one graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC at a very high grade, like MS67 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could be worth between $50 and $300 or even more depending on the current demand. But it gets even more exciting. There are era coins, and this is where the big money can come in. If your 1985 D penny has a double die error, off-center strike, or a rare transitional planchet mistake, you might have hit the jackpot. For example, some collectors have paid over $1,000 for a dramatic off-center strike penny from 1985. Others have found double die varieties where the lettering or Lincoln's profile looks slightly doubled under magnification, and these can fetch serious offers from era coin enthusiasts. Now here's where it gets really interesting. There have been rumors and reports of unique specimens of the 1985 D penny that were struck on a copper planchet rather than the standard copper-plated zinc planchet used after 1982. If you somehow have a 1985 D penny that weighs about 3.1 grams instead of the Usual 2.5 grams. It could be a leftover copper blank from previous years accidentally used in 1985. If that's the case, your penny might be one of only a few known in the world and could be worth thousands of dollars, potentially even more in a high grade or auction setting. Now let's talk market value and the big question: could your 1985 Lincoln penny be worth $1 million? In most cases the answer is no, but in rare situations a unique era coin in flawless condition with historical or collector significance can sell for life-changing amounts of money. While it's extremely rare, we've seen era coins from other years sell for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially when two or more collectors or institutions are competing at an auction. So while $1,001,985 penny is unlikely, it's not completely impossible if the right coin shows up in the right condition with the right era. In general, though, most valuable 1985 pennies will fall between a few dollars and a few $1,000s depending on the grade and any error or rarity involved. If you suspect you have a valuable one, the best step is to weigh it, check for obvious visible errors, and get it graded professionally. That way you know exactly what you have and can take advantage of the current collector market. Now you may be wondering, where can you sell a valuable penny like this? Well, you have several options you can use. Online auction sites like eBay or heritage auctions. You can take it to a certified coin dealer or attend a coin show. You could even list it on social media groups or collector forums where rare coins are often traded or auctioned. Just make sure you do your research and work with trusted experts. Before we wrap up, here are 3 quick tips for checking your 1985 penny. Tip number 1, check the weight. If it weighs over 3 grams, you might have something rare. Tip number 2, use a magnifier to look for doubling, especially around the words "Liberty in God We Trust" or the date. Tip number 3, inspect the coin for off-center strikes or unusual shapes. Anything that seems off from a regular penny could indicate an error, so the next time you're digging through your pocket change or opening up that old coin jar, don't overlook the humble 1985 Lincoln penny. It might just be your ticket to a major payday. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin facts, hidden treasures, and money-making tips from the world of coin collecting. And let us know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable penny or what coin you want us to cover next. 1987 No mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, and the buzz around whether this humble coin could actually be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Get ready, because this story goes way beyond just copper and zinc. We're going to explore history, minting errors, current market values, and the truth about those million-dollar rumors. Let's start with the basics. In 1987, the United States Mint produced Lincoln pennies at multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's something important to know: pennies struck in Philadelphia usually don't have a mint mark. So if you have a 1987 penny with no mint mark, that's totally normal. It simply means it was made in Philly. So when you hear someone claim that a 1987 penny without a mint mark is rare, pause for a second. It's not automatically rare. But here's where it gets interesting. While most 1987 pennies are extremely common, with over 4.6 billion coins produced in Philadelphia alone, some coins from that year have gained attention from collectors and treasure hunters for one big reason: errors. Error coins are where the real value can come in. We're talking about double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting mistakes. These aren't your average coins, and collectors will pay a premium for them, sometimes a huge one. So if you've got a 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and you're wondering if it's worth anything more than 1 cent, here's what you need to check. First, look at the date and lettering under magnification. Are any of the numbers doubled? Especially the number 7 or the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." This could indicate a double die error. Next, check the coin's edges. Is the design off-center? Is there a chunk missing? Maybe it looks like it was cut strangely. These types of minting errors are also valuable. Third, look at the overall condition of the coin. This is where the grading system comes into play. Coins are graded from poor all the way to mint state 70. If your coin is in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, and it has a sharp strike with strong luster, then you might be looking at a coin worth significantly more. Now you might be asking, how much are we really talking about? Most 1987 no mint mark pennies are only worth face value, 1 cent. But if yours has a known error, or it's in near perfect condition, the value jumps dramatically. Coins graded MS65 or higher can sell for anywhere between $5 to $20. That might not sound like much, but that's just for a regular coin in great condition. The real prize is in the error coins. Here's an example. A 1987 Lincoln penny with a dramatic off-center strike was sold at auction for over $100. Another with a double die obverse sold for more than $200. These are confirmed sales. And yes, there are cases where rare penny errors have sold for thousands. One famous example from a different year, the 1943 copper penny, sold for over $1 million. That's what sparked this whole $1 million penny craze. But remember, these are extremely rare cases and most likely don't apply to standard 1987 no mint mark pennies. So is the 1987 penny worth $1 million? Not by itself. But if you find one with a rare and significant mint error, and it's in incredible condition, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here's what you can do today to find out if your 1987 penny is valuable. Step 1. Sort through your coins and pull out any 1987 no mint mark pennies. Step 2. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to inspect for doubling, off-center designs, or other irregularities. Step 3. Compare it with images of known error coins online or get a second opinion from a coin expert or a local dealer. Step 4. Consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. If it turns out to be something special, that official grade will add value and help you sell it. To wrap this up, the 1987 Lincoln penny is a common coin in circulation, and most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But rare mint errors, combined with high-quality grading, can dramatically increase the value. While it's not likely you'll find $1 million penny from 1987, you might still find a valuable piece hiding in your change. So keep checking your coins, stay curious, and remember, every great treasure hunt starts with a simple question. Could this be the one?